I think I found a podcast. I think this is Kimmy Love. I think, yeah, I honestly think that I'm 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 on a mission basically. I done found one of my stalkers. There she go. I'm kidding. What's up? I was leaving the store. I'm sitting here. I'm in front of the store begging for change. No, I'm kidding. Um, no, I was in there actually trying to rack. I'm kidding. It was an old lady um, in front of the merchandise, and she's sitting there just in my damn way. And I'm like, I started singing Jill Scott. I was like, "You're getting in the way of what I'm stealing. You're getting in my way." I'm kidding. What's up? What's up, baby girl? Tay, everybody's here. Auntie Leah's in the building. Kiki Eyes is in the building. Uh, yeah, no, that's not. That wasn't Kimmy Love. I'm just clowning. I don't even. You see. I don't even mention these certain individuals within my content anymore, for real, because it really doesn't serve my purpose. But she ain't one of the ones that I'm gonna ultimately take to court. So I ain't really tripping on her. Anyway, what's up? I'm chilling. I'm taking care of some business. I'm running errands. And I said, let me do this live. What's up? What's up, Love JM? What's up, y'all? Um, yeah, there's a whole lot going on, and I've been kind of out of the way, just kind of taking care of business on the back end. But I'm peeping how news is being circulated, and I'll talk more about that stuff in a few. What's up, Bart Martinez? I'll talk more about that in a few. I just wanted to get my walk on and get my talk on because there's so much stuff, there's so much information out there, there's so many things going on, but at the same time, people are hyper focused on one thing. Hey, Makia Sanders, uh, say trying to figure out why they got a double. Yeah, hey, that's we'll talk about that too. The Ghislaine, because I looked at the pictures too, and I'm like, that ain't her. That ain't her. Not at all. That ain't her. Uh, anyway, but there's so much. That's the thing. See, the Ghislaine situation. There's so much right now that's out there, and then nobody's talking about it. That's why I said there's an overload of information also can equal no information. Yeah, the nose gave it away. Exactly. Chose told the judge I need to be 5150 in court. Um, wait, you got to send me an email, Lauren, because that's interesting, and that's why you really got to be very careful on what you say online, how you say stuff online. You just got a bunch of weirdos who just take stuff and twist it. That's pretty much what it is. That's what it is, and that's why I'll talk later more about what this whole thing with this Jay Z thing, because we were talking about Jay 2 weeks ago, and I mentioned him being involved in those files, and now you got a bunch of people saying, "Oh, the FBI said that he was not involved, that Beyonce's not involved, and it was a mistake." A mistake. The Department of Justice put a intake form out there, and that's a mistake. Stop. That sounds like your PR team, but it sounds like somebody's losing, and it sounds like somebody's time is up. Just like Erica Badu was saying, what that train? There's this train coming. Coded language of how they talk. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there. They don't want they want you to hyper focus on crap and not really focus on um, what's real, what's real, and what's good. And when people say, okay, well, yeah, people say it's a distraction. The thing is, it's like, well, what are you being distracted from? Well, number one, you're being distracted from you. That you're being distracted from yourself. You say you went down a rabbit hole, Bart Martinez. Yeah, you got to have a Bible with you when you go down these rabbit holes of these files, simply because yeah, it will take you to another space. If you have a real soul, you'll want to go do something. But that's what I think. They put these files out there because they want to see who's going to say what, who's going to actually do something. And I think we're way smarter. And you also got to understand, this is what these people do. This is what these people do. I'm glad I didn't get caught up in the music industry and went that route, because you gotta play their game. You gotta do something that appeases them. Because if you read those files, you see what they have to do to just, I guess, say, hey, I'm part of this club. And then, it's for your money, it's for your power, it's for all that. Um, yeah, it's sickening. Yeah. Um, Patricia Blair, what's up? Yeah, they did Jag wrong too. And, you know, and shout out to Black Dot, because he shouted out Jaguar and Professor Griff, because people like Jaguar, people like Professor Griff, they get the brunt of the bull crap for being first to really call out what it is that these elites, what they do and what they're a part of. You know what I'm saying? And again, shout out to Jaguar for being brave, because not a lot of people are brave. I think you're gonna have a lot more people brave that's gonna want to come out and say, um, certain things, but they're saying certain things just to get clout. I saw, I'll say the podcast, all 11 podcasts. I think there's a young lady on there just kind of going off. She went off on, man. She just went off. She's interesting, but she's not like, I feel it is like almost like a big homie CC. And you already know how I feel about big homie CC. Big homie CC. I'm still waiting on that paperwork. Thought you said you was gonna sue me. I'm waiting. Yeah. Anyway, people out here just saying stuff just to be saying stuff. And I say all that just to say, I think even the president is falling in line with that. So President Trump said he's going to release the UFO files. I mean, you got to finish getting the Jeffrey Epstein files out there first. But the president said he's going to release the UFO evidence. Now, let me just say this. I'm not one of these people that believe that, you know, space aliens are going to come down to Earth and do X, Y, and I really don't believe in all that. I believe in. I have a great master teacher that I followed years back, and he passed away almost 10 years ago. Dr. Delbert Blair, and he was spitting, and he was saying a whole lot of like. I listened to him and just like, whoa, like the download when you listen to, y'all look up who Dr. Delbert Blair is. He's a metaphysician. He was in the conscious community, and yeah, he really, he was letting it go as far as like information in regards to extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings, because that's my belief. I believe, and I really don't have beliefs. I'm more about knowledge. But I'll say I believe that. Well, Prince Andrew, we'll talk about that too. But this is why I'm talking about what it is that I'm saying about the president and what's going on with the distraction. So he, well, let me get back to what I was saying about what I believe. I believe that there's interdimensional situations. Imagine, I mean, people don't even know, like, the ancients say that there is a space, there is a, the world is round, blah blah blah. Whether it's a firmament, I don't know, but something coming from another part of the universe and landing here and deciding to do whatever. I mean, it's possible. It's plausible, but I don't believe it. I believe, because if there, and I'm sure there are species of beings that have been here longer than us, and they've probably had a trillion year head start. They not gonna get on over here on a Tesla or get on over here on on some technology where it's like you got to burn fuel. I question a whole lot of stuff when it comes to space. Case in point, and no disrespect, but this is the Indians. This is the Indians. They said they landed on the moon. This was in 2023. Th- this is India, and no disrespect to Indians or India. They said they landed on the moon, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, is this real? They said that. So I said, what part of it's what part of the game is given? It's given Gallagher. Like like that's what I was looking. I'm like, this looked like my little fighter ship from Gallagher. Look, the Indians straight up was like on some. We landed on the moon. Here's another one. That I guess that's the spaceship. But this is a. I guess this is a replica, or this is some type of a simulation, or not simulation. This is not. They didn't have a manned aircraft or manned craft. They had a unmanned uh, ship, and me is given that. It's given that. If you ask me, it's given Gallagher because but but like I said, I take it was a computer generated situation. I'll just say it like that. I'm like y'all could have got 2023 AI wasn't as popping, so they couldn't really do the AI thing, but they could have gotten Houdini. And if y'all don't know, I got another channel. Go check it out. It's at A Plus Tech LA, where I have some tech stuff. I just wanted y'all to check that out. But there's a program that you could make like all these special effects to make stuff look like whatever you want it to look like. And mainly, like the easiest entry is talking about dang on shoot. What are you talking about? They show you how to do fake flames, fake smoke, particles, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm just saying the special effects for the Indian joint, like they said they landed on the moon. Like I said, when you take okay, when there's a flight, not a flight, but when there's a hold on, let me be done with this. Let me not show y'all my location. Well, I don't care. I'm in a Crenshaw Square. 'Cause I'm a Crenshaw Square. When you actually go up to space, so if you see the rockets that Elon Musk, or the shuttles that Elon Musk, or the spacecraft that Elon Musk, uh, Richard Branson, I believe he's Virgin, they they have rockets that go all the way up, and in order for you to get up, you need propulsion. You need the fuel. You need fuel. It's going to get you up so far, and then what do we normally see? The fuel and the rockets fall off, and then it keeps going up into space. So obviously that means when you get up into space, you're not able to use. There's no oxygen, so you can't use combustibles, right? So the propulsion, how does it keep going? That's one thing. Y'all got we got to start really critically thinking. There's no oxygen in space. If you land somewhere, let's say the moon landing, they land on the moon. Okay, they landed. What are they using to propel themselves off the moon to get back to Earth? And then when you get back to come on, man, you come on. We just shit just got to make sense. if y'all feel where I'm coming from, and I'm not, like I said, I'm just in the business of what makes sense. That's honestly that's what I am. I'm not, I ain't trying to twist nobody. I ain't trying to sell you nothing. I say peep what makes sense because that's what really makes sense. Um, they admitted none of the pics or vids of the planets or other planets are real. Yeah, exactly. Because they don't know. They don't know. If you know about NASA's start, that's a whole nother conversation. And I ain't finna go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, how did they land on the moon? And they say we're in a dome. I, again, like I said, my main thing is the reason why I'm even saying what I'm saying and why I'm even doing uh, this YouTube video today is to say don't just believe everything you hear and see. I mean, don't believe everything you hear and half of what you see. To be honest, they are just putting out distraction, distraction, distraction because I think something else is coming down the pike. But we as the general public, we're not keeping our focus on what it is that we need to peep. Um, yeah, they're gonna. I, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm noticing. Okay, Trump is now talking about releasing UFO or UAP documents to the public. Any government classified UAPs, UFOs, and if you don't know what a UFO is, unidentified flying object, or UAP, they say unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's what a UAP is. They're talking about releasing this, but they're not talking about anything dealing with aliens or the Greys or the reptilians or nothing. Because if you want to really talk about that, and if we want to talk about reptilians, what they've done in those Epstein files, if it's all said it is true, they've been eating certain eating human flesh. Like if they've done that, that's to me that's reptilian. That would be a reptilian. I mean, it lines up with what reptiles do. I'll say it like that. So anyway, I don't want to get too far off. I'm just basically saying they're throwing all this stuff out there, and they're just putting stuff out there just to kind of see what people gravitate to. If you're a member, I appreciate all the members here. I'm gonna go deeper. I did a document. No, I did a live the other day about a show that I was watching, an anime series called The Promised Neverland. I don't know if anybody saw The Promised Neverland, but it was basically parallels to what they're talking about with the Epstein, the people over here doing all that weird stuff with the Epstein stuff. Like it's crazy. It's crazy that this anime series, the anime series came out in 2019 and it only had 2 seasons. I'm probably like halfway to season one, and yeah, they are breaking it off in there. They're telling you kind of what was going on with like before all this. They're talking about it. But I'm going to continue to talk more about that type of stuff on that side, on the member side. So if you're not a member, I will be doing a lot more members or whatever. Oh yeah, hold on, Real Jack. I wonder if they're gonna reboot the TV show V. That was V was ahead of this game too. I remember V first, and then I saw They Live, and I was just like, yeah. And what did John Carpenter say about They Live? He said that wasn't a movie, that was a documentary. If y'all ain't seen They Live, y'all got to check it out because They Live kind of breaks off it symbolic, metaphorically. That's what I'll say. Metaphorically, that's they break it off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we talk about the purple people eat us. Remember that? The purple people eaters gonna cut the. Let me stop. Uh, anyway, the planet they come from is called Planet Marijuana. Okay, are you serious? Are you? I hope she ain't trolling. I mean, okay, all right. Soul Shine Sessions 101. That's where they come from. Okay. Um, look, Trump says he's going to. The funky monkeys are coming. Exactly. Trump said he's going to release UAP info. Y'all remember those drones that were over the East Coast, the New Jersey, New York area sometime back? I think, was this after the pandemic? Yeah, it was. So a couple of years ago, where they had them damn drones just roaming around, and they had them up. They were talking about them, and then they kind of just went away. Um, hold on, I think I saw something about Planet Mary Jane from the dark web. Yeah, y'all remember those drones though? Those drones, they were in the news for a good 2 weeks. People were like, they see these drones, they see these whatever orbs, and then all of a sudden they stopped talking about it. I think they're gonna run the same play with the whole Epstein stuff too. Like that's how you know what a psyop is. It'll be all over the place 1 minute, and it'll just be gone. The drones was one. I think the Epstein stuff will be one. Um, Trump now talking about the UAPs. I think what that does, it will. I think they're just throwing stuff out there so people will just run with it because you'll have certain people run with certain stories, and you can say, oh well, yeah, now we're going to give validity to this story or something that happened back day because now they're talking about the the UAPs and oh now there's evidence of aliens or whatever. So I think this all started, and this is not like coincidence. They been knew that they were going to release these damn files or whatever, unclassified. They've been knew it. But a couple of weeks ago or about a week ago, Obama was on a podcast and he was asked a question about were there aliens or whatever. And basically, in a nutshell, Obama was like, "Oh well, I asked about them, and there's something out there, but they're not here. The aliens aren't here." So he's being real vague about his answer. And then I think Obama, Trump is always in competition with Obama if you really want to pay attention to it. And he, because even the health, the Obamacare, and then all the stuff that Trump got, his healthcare stuff, he's just in competition. But he's basically dismantling a lot of stuff that Obama did. That's pretty much what it is. But president basically comes out and says, "Yeah, well, uh, I'm going to release these files. I'm gonna let everybody know what it is. You know what I'm saying?" And that's basically what he's doing. He's essentially just trying to cover, not cover, but the narrative that Obama. Oh, of course, Obama was the biggest plant. Uh, what do you say, golden areas about Eisenhower? So supposedly Eisenhower met some back then, but that's a whole nother combo. Obama basically was like, "They're not here." He basically was kind of low key saying, "Well, they're available, they're around, but they're not here." You know what I'm saying? He kind of, and I think he did all that because, of course, he's part of the distraction. It's let's put stuff out there. Let's let people run to it. Let's let people gravitate to it. Because if you really look at the news cycle and the news, I pay attention to the mainstream news. Not that I got to do it. Not that I'm programmed. I listen to where it is that they're going with certain narratives and certain conversations. They they they're not talking too much about the Epstein stuff on the news, except for now they're talking about the Prince Andrew situation where he got arrested. And they had him for about 11, 12 hours in custody. They let him go. We'll see how that plays out. But those 3 million files got released, and one person got arrested. We got to arrest some more people. The news ain't really talking about that. If you really want to, really break it down, they're not really talking about that like that. You get what I'm saying? So there's people with stories that got I mean, there's people with stories with valid stories, validity that we need to be searching for. We need to be paying attention to. Um, yeah, it's just all distraction. The aliens are the aliens are these dang on elites. I wish this would have came up. I, they say the aliens are right now be on some like oh ish, hurry up, we're next. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. But they'll you got people online that will just make fun out of everything, and that's part of it too. What are you gonna gravitate to? You gonna gravitate to the seriousness, or you gonna gravitate to something that's a little bit more comedic? Because they say same thing, I make you laugh, I make you cry. You get what I'm saying? Uh, you said what? OB? You talking about OB said on the podcast there? Oh, Obama. Uh, they're knowing of UFOs, but he hasn't seen it. Yeah, yeah. And I'll go even because I was gonna even go. Hold on. I was even gonna go and talk about a very well known book, in a book that I read years ago called "Behold a Pale Horse." And if you guys don't know what "Behold a Pale Horse" is, it's a book by William Cooper, our good brother William Cooper. He was in my opinion, he was a true man of God, and he was really just trying to get the information out there to the people. So he's had experiences. He was in the Air Force, and he had experience where he saw UAPs and um, uh, chasing him in a UAP. He went back to his general. They were like, "Nope, don't say nothing about this. You didn't see anything. You didn't say nothing." And then he just started like kind of getting more information. He gave out a lot of more information though, more than just about UAPs, UFOs, aliens, and stuff like that. Yeah, you will never finish that book. You just hang on to that book because I still have my copy, and you just kind of like cross reference because that's like it's almost like that book. If you were to say that's like you know the Bible, the New Testament. That's one of the books in the New Testament. You don't just read it and be like, okay. You'll read that book, and then later on, 10 years later, 5 years later, you'll stumble upon some information, and you'll see that book, and God will probably lead you to a part of the conversation that like you'll be like, oh, it'll open up another chamber, basically. So yeah, like you basically in that book though, it says it speaks of us not being alone in the Bible. Yeah, exactly. Nephilim. hmm But yeah, but he even said, talking about William Cooper for Behold a Pale Horse. He even said, I may have been duped when I was talking about the UFO situation because he don't know if they were running game on him. They could have been doing. Now that we understand like the different technologies that they got, the V2K technology, they got all types of different technology, and they've had it even back then. I think he was um, in the 60s or 70s, I believe he was in the armed forces or the Air Force. They had all that technology then. Ain't no telling what they could have done to his brain. So he said, "Hey, I take back." Before he passed away, they killed him actually. Before he was killed, he said, "I take back all that stuff that I was saying about the UFO stuff because that might have been a psyop, essentially." And then one of my professors in school, see, he was talking about my professor. I'm just to kind of go into the technology side. My professor, he was part of a team that helped develop green, not green screen. What's the technology? X-ray. Is it X-ray or night vision? Back in the '70s, he's an Indian guy. That's why I said no disrespect to the Indians. One of my professors, a good man, Indian guy, and he was on a team, and they eventually developed night vision. It was around the time of the Vietnam War, and he was telling us this, and then he was just also saying like in Vietnam, before the night vision was green, they would use a red. It was basically not like it was. So if you know night vision basically it's black and then it highlights the green of whatever you can't see in the light with natural light. Now he was telling us. Well, he was telling us he developed that. Later on, I discovered that they initially or they originally was red, and they had the technology on the helicopters of the pilots in Vietnam, and it was red. And when they were using that particular whatever chemical or whatever, yo, what's up, James Gucci Shaw? What's up? Yeah, they basically would see these demons hovering the jungles of Vietnam, and they would just be shooting like oh they were just shooting, and it would like maybe unalive some innocent people and stuff like that. And you know the pilots were like, yo, I saw something on the top of the jungle, you know, on top of the trees, and it was only with that technology they saw that stuff. And then when they switched it over to the green, I got to get more into that information as far as like what it was, why the green and the red, why it made a difference. It was a different chemical, I believe. But then they didn't see those demons anymore. So that's why I say I'm under the belief that it's like interdimensional stuff. It's not no aliens that coming from Jupiter or the moon, the purple people eaters, the you know the funky monkeys. It's not that. I think it's just some interdimensional type stuff. Our eyes can only see a certain spectrum. You know, there's an invisible spectrum that we can't see because even with this technology I'm using right here, wireless, we can't see the information, the zeros and ones that are floating around in the air with the wireless technology. We can't see microwaves. We can't see radio waves. We can see water and then mist and fog, but you can only see so much with your eyes. So yeah, he said there's a demon selfie talking my gym space right now. Really? Take a picture. Take a picture and send it to me. Oh, Mel Tucker, what was you saying? Okay. Yeah, yeah, like Predator, Auntie Leah. Yep, just like Predator. Just like Predator, for real. Yep. Um, but yeah, as I get more and I see what's going on within this world and the wickedness that's in this world, it makes me really just think about certain scripture. It makes me think about certain master teachers that have you know come to my life and given me game, and it makes me just think about a lot of stuff. Like you know, they say you know don't be they say don't be wise with thine own eyes. I am not the biblical scholar. I don't even claim to be any of that. I ain't gonna fake it. I know a little bit of Proverbs. I know a lot about. Well, I know a lot about Proverbs. A lot about Psalms and Revelations. But anyway, any of you Bible scholars, y'all can give me the. Oh, hold on. Let me remove this. You gotta let my hair breathe. I can't be keeping my thing wrapped too much. Hair starts smelling like the back of Forrest Whitaker's or the back of Whoopi Goldberg's neck. I ain't even dog out Forrest Whitaker. The back of Whoopi Goldberg's neck, since she's all in them files. Um, yeah, like basically the whole thing right now when you start studying what's going on in the world, man, it just makes you want to be like, yeah, really, it makes you want to just pull away. I see why certain religious sects did what they did, like the Jehovah Witnesses, and you know, and it's funny because, like I said, my nephews, they're you know, we kind of came up with Jehovah Witness uh, background a little bit, but they, you know, a lot of that stuff sticks with them about the world and how the world is and worldly and people that are worldly. And I'm glad at least that's instilled in them because I can tell them like, yeah, you know, y'all see what's going on. This is all it's all crap. It's all BS. They're trying to push an agenda. what, and that's ultimately where I'm going to go with this. What it is that they're trying to do, in my opinion, the world, they want to implement a new system. So all this stuff that's coming out, all these disclosures, oh, these people are the bad guys. Like, that, it's kind of hard to explain, but not really. Basically, in a nutshell, they want to push a new system, a new system of governance, a new system all the way around. So they got to expose the people that they choose to expose, the organizations they choose, they've chosen to expose, to be like, see, these people are bad. These people are not good for you. We need new leadership. We need new rulers. So this is a perfect time for AI. Everybody's entrusting in AI for the most part. Like, you got a lot more people who are, it's atrophy. They're gonna have brain atrophy because they just use AI. They use AI. Still, like, you can still have a calculator for your big numbers, but then you should still know general math, general addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You should still know that, because if you don't know it, certain parts of your brain will atrophy, and that's what's going on with this AI implementation globally. People are not going to be like, oh, well, I don't have to study. You still got to know stuff. They're going, oh, I ain't got to study. I got access to it with the computer, and that's true. I think Karis One was saying something like that. He was just saying, he was telling his daughter he's the smartest person she knows. She said he's the smartest person she knows. And he's like, yeah, that's true, because number one, he was studying before there was the internet. Then when he got the internet, he had access to the internet, so that made him smarter. And that's true. Is if you got access to certain stuff, it'll make you smarter. It'll increase your um, knowledge base, but you still have to know how to research. You got to know how to have, look at certain things, have discernment. And AI is an easy thing right now. They're just pushing AI like, yo, this is the way. This is the way. You got to have this AI. You got to do this. You got to, deal with it. So trust and believe. If not right away, because I think Trump is talking about going to war. Even this whole AI. I mean, even the whole, even everything dealing with this UAP, UFO disclosure all of a sudden. That's just get away from other stuff that's going on with the economy, stuff that's going on with the possible war with Iran, other global stuff that's going on. There's something going on in Cuba. They're about to try to starve Cuba, because I think they're about to just go in and try to uh, take over Cuba. That's what I think. I wouldn't be surprised if we do go to war with Iran, then they go and just take Cuba. The UAP UFO thing is almost like there's about to be just like a bunch of stuff globally happening. In the end, if this dang on if it is World War III, and if the world does whatever, doesn't like end like how it says it's going to end or whatever, and fire, then there will be a new regime. There will be AI all over the place, and your government will be AI. Your God will be AI. That's what I believe. That's what I'm thinking. They're doing all this to show, like, yeah, you can't trust man, but we got AI here. You can trust that. So let AI govern you. Let AI tell you what pills you need to take. Let AI make your food. Let AI. And then they got to do robots. I don't know if y'all saw. I don't know if it's real. I thought it was fake, but I think it is real. They got a $20,000 robot that walk like me. It walk. It walk. It'd be crip walking. They got a AI robot that will help you with like manual tasks. So that's the future. They want us to entrust in the AI system that's to come, the AI government. There's certain people that worship an AI God. They say that's God. They don't know the AI that we got. That's God. They really believe that. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know I kind of went all over the place, but I'm just saying, keep your eyes focused. The main thing is this: if 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 a UFO, let me give you the perfect example of why I'm not even going to trip on it. And I just made this video just to kind of get people to think. That's kind of why I'm at with it. 3D prime rib. Yep. Okay. So on Sunday, I'm gonna be right here on Coliseum in Crenshaw, and there are gonna be a whole bunch of lowriders and a whole bunch of cars. You know, the LA car culture. They are gonna be right here on Crenshaw and Coliseum. If an alien spacecraft lands right here on the middle of Crenshaw, then I'll believe what the president has to say about UFOs and this and that. And anybody come if a 57 uh, Roswell SpaceX purple people eater funky monkey spacecraft lands right here on Crenshaw, I'll believe it. See, don't just tell me anything. I need you got to show me. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. So they can talk all that UFO stuff and all that. Don't get distracted. Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. For real. Dig a little deeper because all that is a distraction. It don't matter. Even with this Epstein stuff, what do? They put it out there. One person gets arrested. One person gets arrested. They put they put that stuff out there for one person to get arrested. It's crazy. The UFO stuff, same thing, distraction. Ain't nothing happening. It's nothing to see here. Nothing wrong. Sexy entertainer going to be driving. You're right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Sexy entertainer. Oh, they gonna have their own one. They gonna. Yep. That was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna come back with some more. I just said let me get in here and say something about Trump releasing the UFO evidence, which there's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's nothing. There's nothing. Nothing happening. I say what, maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I think Jag will be live. I just saw she posted something. She's gonna be live, so we'll be over there. Um, I'm gonna be back later because I had to go out with uh, the homie. Shout out to Classic Music. Y'all follow him. We were at the listening party or the live. What for Razcast? Razcast got a new album with it was called Leopards Eat Face. Y'all really gotta listen to like where even got that title from, but we gotta go support. So I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna talk about his album. I had that last album he had called FAFO. It's pretty dope, 8 songs. He's got a new one now called Leopards Eat Face. I was kicking it with Bishop Lamont. I only met him like once or twice. Really, I didn't meet him. I just was in the presence with him, but I chopped it up with him real brief last night. So shout out to Bishop Lamont. He's from Carson. He's on the album with Razcast, and he has a album out too. So I'm gonna promote that. I'm gonna check that out. We gotta, I just want everybody to start promoting. Start supporting real artists. Of course, y'all know I got that single out there called "Hold You Tight" by the homie Special, the Hood Idol, and he's featuring Bo Rock from Dove Shack. So yeah, we're gonna talk music and we're gonna talk about all that. Y'all go check it out. And yeah, Razcast, that was a really good event. Everybody came through. Medusa got something. No, Medusa actually got something tonight. No, last night. So they had two competing things. I got to double check, but shout out to Medusa. But it's always West Coast hip hop. I'm down the street from Project Blow, down Lamert Park, all that. You already know. So you say Jump did say the Guthrie case will be solved soon. Now, filed on the UFO. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another one. That damn kidnapping. Another distraction. Just another one. It's ridiculous. Distraction, distraction, distraction. That's all you see is distraction. Okay, yeah, we got the notification. Jag is going to be going live soon. Let's get on over there. All right. Y'all know what it is. Appreciate y'all. Peace.